What's going on, my fellow Jedi and Padawans? Welcome back to another Jedi gaming video. Thank you guys so much for coming back to the channel, and if you guys are new, welcome. Today we're going to be going over another PvP build that I have been utilizing in sixes that have been super fun, and it really catches people off guard when you're playing survival, comp, whatever it may be. So we're going to get into it. Nice little Void Hunter build for y'all. So starting out right here with our abilities and subclass, first off we're going Spectral Blades so we can get that nice defeats without worrying about tether not connecting to people and you still getting killed somehow. So we're going with Spectrals. Now for your abilities, we're running Marksman Dodge, Triple Jump, our Snare Bomb, Grenade is totally up to you. I personally like Vortex best for this build. Also Void Wall can be good, especially with some of the fragments we have on, but I personally go with Vortex Grenade right here. Now for our aspects and fragments, first off we got Trapper's Ambush, so when we are in air we can use Quick Fall that uses our melee charge and creates a smoke cloud around us that causes targets to be weakened and us and allies to become invisible. This is nice for those little sneak attacks, which this build is all about. Plus you can share that invisibility to your entire team, especially when you're playing something Iron Banner with control. Everybody's bootied up together on points. You can just slap down with Quick Fall, make everyone invisible, then no one on the other team knows what to do, and you can get a good amount of defeats. Now on top of that, we're using Vanishing Steps so we can go invisible with our dodge, lets us reload, go invisible, and take people's radar away using the exotic Gemini Jesters for this build here. So this just works perfect with those little trick plays, being that Joker going around invisible and just spooking people out of nowhere, defeating them with this build. Now for our fragments and aspects, first off we got Echo of Persistence, so that invisibility that we're giving ourselves via our Quick Fall or Vanishing Step, it lasts a good amount of time. Now moving on, we have Echo of Remnants, so those Vortex Grenade, Void Wall, Void Spike, and Axion Bolt have an increased duration. Just super nice for throwing it on points. No one can step on it. Very good for that AoE damage. Last but not least, we're going with Echo of Dilation, so because this is a sneaky build, we'll be playing invisible with that Gemini Jesters taking people's radars away. We're going to be crouched a little bit, sneaking faster when we're crouched, and we gain enhanced radar, so it's a nice little cheeky aspect for us to be able to see those smaller chunks on our radar to know exactly where they are, especially since we're going to be using some nice cheeky weapons with this build as well. So starting out right here for the build, we got two different variations for weapons and fusion rifles. First off, and my most used, is my Disparity with Moving Target Desperado. This thing absolutely annihilates Guardians as that aggressive burst. Pairing that with Desperado, it is so good in my opinion. Now when we're using Desperado, we're going to pair that with Telesto, the most broken and cheeky gun in the game. Pairing this with that invisibility and Gemini Jesters, no one sees you coming. You lay a little trap on the ground, throw a couple shots at them, and they just explode in that void beautifulness, and it's a wonderful sneak attack and probably the best part of this build. Now on top of that, we're going to be cheeky as well with using the other half with Eager's Edge, so we can go invisible and then out of nowhere sweep 40 meters and just defeat some Guardians. Super fun. Now on the variation, we have a Wizen's Rebuke from Iron Banner. Do like this weapon, just started to use the opponent defeated tracker, but do love this as an option for a fusion rifle instead of the Telesto, especially if we're using No Time to Explain as our primary, which is the other way to run this, is with No Time to Explain and the Wizen's Rebuke. Now moving over to our armor and our mods, nothing too crazy on this at all. First off, we're using that pulse rifle targeting double on our head just to get Disparity or No Time to Explain, get that beautiful crispiness on those shots. Next off on our arms, we're using Fastball for those Void Wall, Vortex, or Spike Grenades, and Pulse Dexterity so we can switch on and off a little bit faster, have that faster ADS with our Disparity, No Time to Explain once again. Now on our chest piece right here, also going with 2 unflinching pulse rifle, allowing us to absolutely map people, and with those aggressive frame of disparity, like I said, with Desperado, the unflinching and the targeting, it just mows down fellow Guardians, and I love disparity as a seasonal weapon from this season. Now what makes this build super cheeky and very annoying to run against fellow Guardians is the Gemini Jester exotic boots. The exotic perk on it, Misdirection, dodging disorients nearby enemies and temporarily removes their radar. So you can get up close and personal with those enemies, do the dodge, take their radar away, you'll be invisible, and then hit them with that Telesto from absolutely nowhere. They're not going to be suspecting it, or if you have that heavy, swing your sword around, get a couple defeats. It is a super fun build and super annoying to play against, that's for sure, but it utilizes the meta that we're in for sure with those pulse rifles and getting those up close sneaky defeats, being invisible, no radar on the other team with those fusion rifles is just a chef kiss to the PvP realm in my opinion, especially since I'm more of a PvE player. This is a fun build for me to run. Now, last but not least on this build, we're going to be using Outreach and Powerful Friends on our class item. Outreach gives us reduced melee cooldown so we can get that smoke bomb back faster and use our Trapper's Ambush to go invisible with Quick Fall, and Powerful Friends to give us that plus 22 mobility so we can have 100 mobility with basically 100 resilience as well. So this build is so nice to use, and I love every aspect of it, especially being able to be cheeky with those fellow Guardians and attack them from the night, coming out of the void invisibility, and they are not expecting it with the super, with the fusion rifle, and it is a blast to use. Still can't really counter DMT sometimes, but when you surprise people, you can stare at them for a couple seconds, beam them with that pulse rifle, get that 2 bursts sometimes, and it is so rewarding and so much fun in my opinion. So hopefully you guys like these PvP builds, a little different from my normal PvE stuff, but we got a little while to go before Lightfall and the whole sandbox changes around, so we're going to be going over some of my PvP builds that I do love, as well as my PvE, just as always. So thank you guys so much again for that support. I truly appreciate it. I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace.